Hey, it's snowing here in New York today. It's Tuesday, December the 24th. It's Christmas Eve for many people. I just hopped out the shower a little while ago. These past couple of weeks, I feel like my body has been having to do so much, just with stress management and just managing all the comings and goings of what's happening in the world, and then managing your own internal experience, your own internal emotional landscape, up against that or in harmony with that. So mentally and physically, my body is screaming for rest or just yearning. I mean, I have been sleeping, but even today I can feel a little fatigue in my body, in my mind, really. I do meditate a lot just because, for one, I'm a very sensitive person, meaning I am very sensitive to different energies and the changing of energetic surroundings, which that happens every day, all day, multiple times a day, multiple times within a minute, sometimes within a second, depending on where you are. And it does become work to remain positive or remain optimistic or be mindful of the words that you are saying, because words are power. I was talking about navigating capacity and how there are times where you are going through a hard time and you are seeking comfort from your tribe, who also may at that same time be going through a hard time and then seeking comfort from their tribe. And sometimes you get into this place of a standstill where it's this is what I need from you, and this is what I need from you. And there is a possibility that we can get locked into our own experience where we're not open to, be malleable or fend for self or not place blame. I feel like it is easy to do that, especially when you're hurt. Because when you're hurting and when you don't feel good, you want someone to be oh, it's okay, I'll take care of it. But sometimes there is not a person that can do that for you, especially if they're trying to do it for themselves. And that can make one tired. I'm just going through some photos, editing. Right now I'm reflecting on the conversation that I had with my sister, my good sister and stylist and friend and homegirl, T. And, growing up, I always was a hopeless romantic. I loved Disney movies. I loved just rom-coms, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, da 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 da, happily ever after. Which is interesting when those are the images that you're being socialized to digest and you are a queer person. Which for me, I found community or just representation within books. Elin Harris was a big just support to me, and And the reason why is because, like, in the media at the time, like, they would show gay men in a certain way, or queer men in a certain way, like this caricature, this thing that I didn't identify as. Like, I was like, I don't see myself in that. Like, I would never go to Pride. I didn't really have any gay friends, because I'm like, I don't really, that doesn't feel like me. But it was because I had not yet found my tribe in those spaces, in those community spaces. And what I loved about Elin Harris' books is, although the characters were queer, not all of them, had varying queer experiences. They were lawyers and athletes and sports anchors and models, doctors. Like, they were doing things. They weren't just like the hairstylist, which, like, the hairstylist is fierce. I love the hairstylist. But everyone is not, the hairstylist, or everyone is not the stylist or the interior decorator, or just like the friend who, like, always got something cute to say, but never needed support. It was always like they were like the background, the background for somebody else's foreground. Come on, Angela. And they were always like these, like, uber strong, like they didn't need nothing. And I feel like seeing all those images, it made it difficult for the world to know how to support those who live life through the queer experience. I've always been, hopes romantic. I'm gonna find my boo. It's gonna be me and my boo till the day we die. And I thought it was beautiful, and I thought it was lovely, and I thought it was cute, and it's what I wanted. It was also what I was told to want. And being more wise in years, and just like having a more vast experience in life, I realized that some of those ways of thinking stemmed greatly from a scarcity mindset, and a lack mindset, and kind of a, like, you have to get yours because everyone else is getting theirs, and you don't want to be left behind, and, like, you only have one chance, you only have one shot. Why does it make me think about Eminem? We went karaoke. We went karaoke. I think that's a word. With some of the company members. So Eminem is on mine because we was in there losing ourselves to the music. You only get one shot, you not miss a chance. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music and never let it go. So I'm bringing this up because dating and being open about what is now my poly expression has come with adjustment, a lot of adjusting. Fun fact, I never understood poly. Like, I never understood it. For me, back in the day, I had friends who were poly, and I was just like, oh, you? Oh, like, and I would turn my nose up, and I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, so you want to have sex with everybody, and you just say that. You want to be in a relationship. And really, I was ignorant. I just didn't know what the experience was, and I didn't have any information about it. And being in the place I am now, and then looking back to that person, what was that, 6 years ago, I'm like, oh, like, you just didn't know. I bring this up because people say a lot of things, a lot of little cute things that they think are funny, like, oh, you trying to add me to the roster, or trying to add me to your concubine, and there's a weird, interesting verbiage, jargon, to express an uncomfortability of something that they just may not resonate with, or may not understand. And I feel like it's easier for people to make little cute, snide, funny comments versus to say, oh, I don't understand, like, help me understand this thing. Which even for me, when my sis came to me and she was like, oh yeah, this is what it is, and told me, I asked for clarity and then I didn't understand it, then I went on ahead and said what I said. So maybe it's just a little circular, experience. Calm. Yeah, one day I was going to the beach by myself. I do like spiritual field trips. It's like a day when I'll like go by myself somewhere and I'll like do shrooms. It'll just be me. I've had a lot of like aha awakening moments doing shrooms in safe spaces in nature with myself or someone else that I trust. What it has afforded me is like just a space to like rip off the lens and like gain greater perspective, because it feels like what it has always done is like silence the censor in me, like that negative, that little like that one on repeat, the one that's like so socialized, hammered in. It's like silence that noise and then like opened up just a new voice. But yeah, I was doing shrooms, went to the beach, had a great day, and I was like, I don't know, I was just reflecting. At that time, I think I was, at that time there was 3 people that I loved. And something came in, I was like, oh, like, I was thinking about 3 separate people, and I'm like, wow, you love all these people equally. Because I was thinking like, is there someone that you love more, or someone that you love less? And when I'm like, no, for one, you love all 3 of these people like very deeply. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, is there someone, I love more or less? And I was thinking, I'm like, no, you love them differently. And there was no like, so I was like, oh. And then someone was like, yeah, like your way of loving is poly. It just like whispered in like, I said, who said that? And in that moment, I was just like free, honest, spiritual exploration. I was having a little spiritual date. And I wrote it in my notes because when I do these things, like there are things that come to me and I'll like write them down. And that really like enhanced and like beautified and really expanded my life. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, your ways of loving are more poly. Yeah. And also, I feel like that also came from an experience of loving someone who I've always called my twin flame, and like a big baby, a big love of mine. And loving this person and realizing like, oh, this person's poly, and I don't think they realize, I don't think they know that. And what's funny to me is then I had expressed what is my new expression to someone I love, and he was like, yeah, like I knew that. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? How you know? How'd you know? I didn't even know. And he's like, yeah, I thought you knew. Like, I always knew that. It's interesting and beautiful. For me, as far as being polyamorous, not polygamous, those are different things. Polyamory simply means like many loves, and I am interested in expanding my love. And that means loving without condition. So that means I'm interested in loving someone and not needing to be in control of their experience. When it comes to some monogamy experiences and even some poly experiences, because there are poly experiences that are not healthy. There are monogamous experiences that are not healthy. There are monogamous experiences that are beautiful and super healthy, and vice versa. There are poly experiences that are beautiful and expansive and healthy and lovely and honest and real and true. And in those spaces where it's not so healthy, I feel like there is a lot of focus on control and pseudo control, and manipulation, and a bartering of things. Like, I'll give you my love if you do this thing. I'll give you my love if you, are able to provide this for me, and if you can't, then I'll take it away. Or if you don't do everything I want you to do, then I'll take it away. Or if you're not doing all the things to make me happy, then I'll take it away. And, you know, my interest and my desire is for myself to be free, to have people love me fully, freely, support me, and realize like we are all on our own separate journeying paths, and you can love someone and be on your own path. A lot of times when we are in codependent spaces, we resist things that naturally make us happy because we don't want to hurt someone else, or because we, don't want someone else to take their love away, or we don't know someone will respond. So we, for one, silence our own personal desires, things that we may really want that may seem like an attack on whatever we've built, or in opposition to what we've built. We also will cut off new experiences or new community or new relationships that come into my life if we feel like it threatens, something that we build, or if the other person feels like, oh, this person is threatening this thing, so we'll cut that off. And for me, I'm just like friends. You have so many friends. A lot of us have different friends. And sometimes in a friend group where people can get possessive, like, oh, this is my friend. Like, oh, you can't talk to that person. Oh, this is my friend. And it's like this kind of like scarcity mindset, hoarding type of energy. In the same respect that you have so many different friends that have taught you things that another dear, deep friend of yours could never teach you, it's that same thing, There are going to be many people in your life that come into your life that are here to teach you something, and it may come in that capacity of romance. And if you if you're interested in growing and being better and expanding, it's important to be open to all experiences that God, the universe, the powers that be, the energies have to present to you.